it was good. This season was good. I mean, season 5 showed improvement. It had more good elements than bad ones. Then season 6 was a mass improvement on that one. Still, a few bumps along the road, but this season was good. It was just 100% good. It worked. They told a great story without any other fluff or stupidity that this show is known for. It took 7 seasons to get here, but man, one of the elements that I feel contributed the most to the improved quality of the show this season was that they changed showrunners. Beth Schwartz took over as a showrunner of Arrow, and the change in leadership is evident. Everything just got better. The writing, the characters, and the things that were good remained good, like the action and all the comic book stuff. But it was good. It was an amazing arc. To me, what Beth did is hone in to what makes Arrow work, which is Oliver trying to make up for the sins of his father. That is beautifully, perfectly represented by Emiko, his bastard daughter that he tried to keep hidden. And inadvertently, his dad created yet another evil archer, which is silly, but it is a comic book show. So the idea of, Oliver and Robert, I believe is his father's name's, actions, creating all these evil archers, all these villains, all these horrible repercussions in the future. It's a big part of the theme of the show, and it is a comic book show, so there you go. And it's not the only comic book franchise that does that. Flash, his actions create a lot of evil speedsters. Reverse Flash, Zoom, Savitar, Godspeed, The Rival, the list keeps going on and on and on. And if you want me to take it a step further, the Iron Man franchise, which is beloved and respected, almost everything that Tony faces in that franchise are the repercussions of his actions in the past, and tech villains, villains that match him. Ironmonger, Whiplash, Aldrich Killian, all tech villains. So there you go. Anyway, so special thanks and a lot of props to Beth Schwartz for improving this show and bringing it up to level. So much so that in spite of the fact that I haven't seen the finales of Flash, Supergirl, and Legends, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the show that's going to win this television season amongst its DCW brothers and sister. Because it was very, 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 very good. And of course, next season is going to be the last season, but I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of this video. Let me concentrate on this season first. The major theme, the major plot device that they would use throughout the first 5 seasons of the show is that they would cross-cut between what was happening in the present and what was happening in the past 5 years ago while Oliver was on the island, or not on the island. Sometimes it got really stupid. Most of the time it got really stupid. Anyway, so it was the present and flashbacks, the present and flashbacks. This season they switched it to the present and flash forwards, showing you the Star City of the future, which was also a theme in The Flash that they explored through the involvement of Nora Allen, excuse me. So they're establishing a lot of stuff about the future of this franchise and the characters that are going to be there. A lot of people are speculating. They're trying to create a spin-off that takes place in the future with the descendants of the heroes that we like. Don't know. I think it's an interesting subplot. I don't think it would make for an interesting show. I do like the future characters. Maya, the grown-up William, Connor Hawke. Oh my god. Renee's daughter, I can't remember her name right now, but they seem pretty cool, and I like seeing scenes with them. I don't think they should get their own show, okay? Ruby, I believe, is Renee's daughter. Anyway, so there you go. So that's my opinion on that. I enjoy it as a subplot. I don't enjoy it. I don't think I would care for it as its own ongoing series, even if they continue referencing stuff from the DC animated universe, like, you know, Batman Beyond, with them constantly saying Shui, or the Zeta Project with, that's what they named their anti-vigilante squad. Even with that, I think those are nice little Easter eggs, but I don't think I would care for a show starring these characters. I think they're better supporting characters than lead characters. So there you go. This season had the largest amount of good standalone episodes. Slabside Redemption, Emerald Archer, Confessions, Living Proof, all extraordinary standalone episodes. This is a series that is notorious for only being legitimately good when it's servicing the main arc of the season and kind of dropping the ball when it comes to its individual episodes or standalone episodes. This season was a massive improvement on that aspect specifically, where they serviced the arc. They did a fantastic job with the arc, showing Oliver dealing with Emiko and how he was going to defeat her or bring her to the light or figure out how he was going to make up for his father's past sins. But at the same time, there were a lot, as I listed, a lot of individual standalone episodes that you can watch on their own without having to know the entire mythology of Arrow or the arc of the season and just enjoy. And I feel that not only is Slabside Redemption one of those episodes, but as far as I'm concerned, that is one of the greatest episodes of the entire show and my favorite episode. Usually, this show suffers so badly from not knowing how to divide its time from servicing the arc of the season, the plot of that particular episode on its own, and then what I like to call the C plot. There's the A, B, and C plot, which is usually some crap that nobody cares about. Willa's the name of the actor. Thea is addicted to drugs. Who gives a shit? Felicity has a crush on Oliver and is trying to make him jealous by dating Ray Palmer. Who gives a fuck? Just shit like that. It's that whenever they would service that C plot that nobody gives a shit about, that they probably are not going to conclude at the end of the season, that's when I get up and go make myself a sandwich. And when I hear the action music, when they're having an exciting action sequence, I come back. But this season they didn't do that, and Slabside Redemption was an episode that showed, hey, you can service the A and B plot, eliminate the C plot, and have a good episode, have an extraordinary episode. I was at the edge of my seat and my attention was fully on the show. That has never happened to me while watching Arrow. Ever. Every episode that I've ever seen, I always get distracted. There's always that one little bit there where I get bored and walk away or go to the bathroom, make myself a sandwich, whatever, check my email, whatever. Something else gets my attention. Slabside Redemption, that was not the case. I was right there in the show, enjoying all 40 minutes of that episode from start to finish. Amazing. Great episode. Major props to the creators for that. Stephen Amell even said that one of the fight sequences in that episode was one of the three that he is the most proud of, and I can see why. Adrian Paul playing Dante, super fucking cool. A great action hero, TV action hero from the 90s, crossing paths with a TV action hero of today. Really, really cool. Him playing a villain and having a fight scene with Stephen Amell. I wish that Arrow would have been the one to defeat him in the season, but again, the story was well told and his ending felt appropriate and it felt shocking. It caught me completely off guard. His death and Diaz's death blew me the fuck away. I didn't see them coming at all. So, yes, I hate to see him go, but his involvement was really good and the story was serviced really, really well. Among the many decisions that I really, really enjoyed this season, two characters that I just hated was the young William, Arrow, Oliver, and Felicity's son. And and of course Curtis, Mr. Terrific. There's two characters that they just annoyed the fuck out of me both for different reasons. Curtis because he's really annoying, and William because the young actor who plays him is pretty damn terrible. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Anyway, they both leave in the same episode. They both get sent away immediately, just trimming the fat, keeping the things that work, getting rid of the things that don't work. And just thank you, Beth Schwartz. I wanted to kiss Beth Schwartz in the mouth. Not just because she's a lovely woman, but because she's an extraordinary showrunner. And sometimes you have to make hard decisions like that. Sometimes you have to get rid of actors who you like, who are your friends, who you enjoy spending time with, but they're just not doing anything for the show. And they got rid of both of them on the same episode, and I just wanted to send her a long-distance high five, because I was very grateful. And then at the end, to further make me love her, they replaced Mr. Terrific as part of Team Arrow. They replaced him with Bronze Tiger, played by the great Michael Jai White. Best known as Black Dynamite, but also to us 90s kids, he was Spawn in the Spawn movie. So cool, such a great DC character, adding a legitimate badass to the team. So that aspect I really enjoyed, that Bronze Tiger was one of the first people to step forward and help out the vigilantes. Love the entire plot of the vigilantes trying to work with the police for a change. Trying to gain their trust. I thought that was a very interesting and cool storyline that I've never seen before in comics or comic book based TV shows, where other than, Batman secretly working in conjunction with Commissioner Gordon, which you constantly see in a lot of comics, where there's that one cop, that one law enforcement agent that secretly works with the hero, but they took off their masks, they said, hey, we will help you guys, we will give you our resources so you can do what you need to do. And I thought it was really cool, and then the fact that it somewhere along the way, it'll go wrong, because we see the future where vigilantes are illegal, they're outlaws. Which, by the way, was the plot of the original Flash TV show with John Wesley Shipp as the Flash. With this guy, John Wesley Shipp, the original Flash. His show originally was supposed to take place in this dystopian type future where superheroes were outlawed. And it was supposed to open with that scene from Elseworlds where all the superheroes are dead. He's the only surviving one, and he travels to the future to get away, and there he meets Mia. He meets Green Arrow's daughter at a time when superheroes are illegal, and the two of them working together fight crime and fight the government that was behind the death of the heroes, and then the passing of the law, the Limited Powers Act, which makes vigilantes illegal. So they're servicing a lot of awesome shit that Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo, the creators of the original Flash series from the 90s, really wanted to do on their show, but they really couldn't afford to. The network wouldn't give them the money nor the approval to do something as big and elaborate as that. So the fact that we've gotten to a point where superhero shows, movies, media is successful enough, big enough, that they can do these storylines that the creators from the 90s couldn't, it just brings a joy to my heart that is undescribable. It's just so cool. And talking about things that are extremely freaking cool, in the episode Spartan, guest starring the great Ernie Hudson, best known as Winston Zeddemore from the Ghostbusters movies, playing John Diggle's dad. Diggle, a character that I absolutely love, a character that this Flash right here kind of hinted during Elseworlds is the Green Lantern, John Stewart. In the episode Spartan, it was 100% confirmed. His stepfather, Ernie Hudson, his name is General Stewart, meaning that John Diggle's real name is John Stewart, the Green Lantern. Do I want this to be a spin-off series? Abso-fucking-lutely. Yes, please. I've been wanting a Green Lantern show in the DCW universe from the beginning. They've been hinting at it. They talk about Ferris Air, which is the airport, the secret military airport where Hal Jordan works. There was a scene at the end of one of the crossovers, I want to say Invasion, when Barry and Oliver have a drink at a bar, and you see a close-up of a guy in a bomber jacket, and the tag on his jacket says Jordan. They've been hinting and hinting and hinting at Green Lantern. I think David Ramsey, John Diggle, deserves to have his own show. He could totally carry it if they gave him the chance. So I really do hope that happens, even though it seems like a long shot, but it would be great. It would be cool to explore the cosmic side of the DCW universe. I think they could do it if they do it like the Green Lantern animated series, where they have a Green Lantern ship, kind of like the Enterprise, kind of like Legends of Tomorrow, where a lot of the show takes place on the ship on one set. And have Green Lantern go to from planet to planet, meeting other aliens, fighting other threats. And also, would it freaking hurt to have 2 superhero TV shows with a black superhero? I don't think not. Black Lightning, Green Lantern would be awesome. So there you go. One of my few minor criticisms about this season was that at the very end, this member of the the Ninth Circle shows up. The Black Order is from the Avengers movies. There's a lot of superhero stuff right now. Sometimes, you get your wires crossed. Bear with me. But the Ninth Circle, this member called Beatrice, shows up and beats up Emiko. She seems to be a total badass, and she kind of showed up out of freaking nowhere. If she had shown up earlier in the season, I missed it. She kind of showed up out of nowhere, and I hope she shows up in the next season of Arrow and they elaborate on her. But again, one of my few minor criticisms about this season. So of course, at the end of the season, as promised, the Monitor shows up, who first appeared in Elseworlds, who is the character that sets the events in motion of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and confirms my theory that I had in my video talking about this year's crossover, Elseworlds. This past season's crossover, Elseworlds, which was that while in the original Crisis comic book, the 2 heroes that died, coincidentally enough, were the Flash and Supergirl, in the DCW version, when they do this crossover, it'll be Green Arrow that will sacrifice his life to save the world, save the multiverse. So, yeah, even though I saw it coming, and, so I wasn't surprised when they confirmed that in the season finale, it still hit me kind of hard. In spite of all of my negative criticisms throughout the years about this show, in spite of the bad times and the good times and the plot holes and the stupid moments like Ra's al Ghul impaling Oliver and kicking him off a fucking mountain and him surviving that by drinking tea, in spite of all that, I really appreciated the show, and I appreciated what the creators achieved with it, and I appreciate how they elevated my favorite comic book brand in ways that the movies never could. And it took me a while to warm up to Stephen Amell. I'll admit it. It wasn't, I want to say, until like season 6, during the crossover that season, which was Crisis on Earth X, that I really started to respect the guy and appreciate the guy, and I went ahead and bought his action figure, something I never thought I would do. And now I know there are only 10 episodes left, and that'll be it. That'll be the end of Arrow, and I'm really gonna miss it. It's a really emotional time to be a fan right now. A lot of endings. The ending of the golden era of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We said goodbye to some key Avengers, which I refuse to spoil the end game. We're going to see the end of the Toy Story franchise and the end of Arrow. The end of an era of the DC CW TV shows. He will step down and, of course, pass the torch to Batwoman, which will pretty much take over Arrow's slot in the, DCW programming. I don't think that they're going to air both shows at the same time. I don't think that Kevin Smith's proclamation, his prediction that at one point the CW was going to have a superhero show for every day of the week. I don't think they're going to have all 6 DCW shows on at the same time. If they do, that's going to be amazing. But if I think the proper order, the right way to do this, and give Arrow a proper send-off without taking away any attention from that, will be for them to do this. Air Arrow Season 8, all 10 episodes of Arrow Season 8 in the fall, then do the crossover, Crisis on Infinite Earths, had that be the final appearance of Green Arrow and have him, sacrifice himself to save the universe during that crossover, which will most definitely involve Batwoman, as she was involved in the previous one, Elseworlds. Have him pass the torch to her, and then in the spring premiere, the Batwoman show. I think that's the way they should do it. If they don't do it that way, well, I'm just going to have to trust them and see how things go. As far as Arrow Season 8, as far as those last 10 episodes, I only have two hopes, and they are this: that Willa Holland, Thea Queen, shows up. She's been missing for way too long. And John Barrowman. Those are two actors that have, to me, are key figures in the show that have been absent for way too long. They definitely should be there at the end. But more importantly, I hope that all 10 of those episodes are like the last 10 episodes of Samurai Jack, where they were 100% dedicated to ending the show. No bullshit subplots, no B and C plots, just an A plot, just an ongoing 10 episode saga that ends the show, okay? Focus on that. Focus on tying loose ends and saying goodbye to Oliver Queen, okay? And that is my only hope for the end of this show. And after everything negative that I say, after all these years of making fun of it, I will admit that I'm going to miss it. Greg Berlanti, Stephen Amell, Beth Schwartz, you have saved this city. If you want some more of my ridiculous, buffoonish fanboyness, please follow me on Twitter. I try to make up for the fact that I can't post as many videos as I used to on Twitter by posting something funny or positive every day for you guys. At erodbuster1. My series of E-Rants on the DCW universe will continue with Flash Season 5. And I can't wait to see the end of Arrow. My next E-Rant on Arrow will be my last one. Man, holy moly. Thank you so much to you guys, the patrons, because when I say this, it's never more true than it is. Than when I say it to you guys, the patrons. I cannot do what I do without you. Because while Beth Schwartz, Greg Berlanti, and Stephen Amell have saved the city, you guys have saved the Blockbuster Buster.